What's good, YouTube? What's good? Back again for another one. Hopefully, you guys had an amazing, blessed day today. I wanted to come through and finish up part two of the series on the Amazon sellers account. Talking about account health, right? So we finished off on the last live stream discussing chargeback claims. So now we're into this section in the middle. If you guys can see my cursor, where it says product policy compliance, and this basically deals with intellectual property, or you may hear some people in the Amazon community refer to it as IP complaints, right? So the easiest way to break that down is if you're selling a specific brand, right? So let's say, for example, um, I have this Equate hand sanitizer here. If you guys can see that, let's just say that they registered their brand on Amazon, right? And we went in to sell this Equate, and their company filed a complaint against us because we were on the listing and they have sole permission either to sell this product, being the brand owner, or they will give some of those rights to authorized resellers. So that to be a reseller of this brand, of course, you would have to contact this company. They will give you a certificate or a contract. So if anything does happen, you're authorized from the brand. So every now and then, when you hear somebody mention like IP complaint or intellectual property complaint, it's the brand filing the complaint against you because they're saying you don't have the authorization to sell their specific products. Now, more times than not, that's only going to happen with smaller brands. Now some of the time it's big, but like with the bigger brands like Nikes and things like that, they don't worry about the little dogs like us, right? So it's usually, from my experience, some of the smaller companies like Equate probably wouldn't do it because I think they're like one of the private labels of Walmart. So yeah, just be aware of that. And one way you can know, or it will give you a clue, if you ever go to list a specific product and you look at the amount of sellers and it's only one seller on the listing, and the brand owner. So again, I'm gonna go back to my example of Equate, right? Equate is the name of the seller on the listing, right? So that is an immediate red flag that you probably don't want to be on that listing, because possibly they're going to file a intellectual property or IP complaint against your specific account. Now, for the older accounts like mine that's been in the system since 2010, I've had some in the past, and they just give you a warning and say, hey, don't do this or remove the listing. But I've heard on some of the newer accounts that they might suspend you for a little while or possibly terminate your account. So definitely be very careful with that. It is some software you guys can use if you ever want to check it. I look at it on Keeper, and I can show you guys how I check that on Keeper in upcoming video. Y'all comment down below if you guys want me to show you what I look at for that. And also it's some software like one of them is called IP Alert, and I can't remember the name of the other one, but they will tell you if it's been a history of this specific brand that you're trying to list on, if they have a history of sending out complaints to sellers. Okay. All right, so that's basically everything in this column is dealing with complaints most of the time from another brand owner here. So that's the gist of this middle column. Over on the right is based on shipping performance, right? Now, if you do FBA or you're doing fulfillment by Amazon, you really don't too much have to worry about that specific that column all the way on the right. But if you're doing merchant fulfill, it can be a big column. Yeah, it could be a big column because that LSR, or that late shipping rate, needs to be under 4%. And I think that's for the 7-day period and the 30-day period, right? So for, again, for just regular numbers, out of every 100 orders, less than 4 of them need to be late. So as a standard, I always recommend everybody in my community that does merchant fulfill. um Amazon did make a change. I think that was within the last 6 months or so, and they kind of recommend, because they want the customers to have a better experience, they will recommend you move it down to 1 business day. But we always put ours on 2 business days, right? Just to give you a little bit of time, because if something did happen and you miss that business day to ship it out, it's automatically late, right? So your metrics, you definitely want to take care of your metrics. You don't want your account with any dings, any warnings, anything of that sort, right? So we always put it on. We go into settings, shipping settings, and put it on 2 business days. But then I always advise that they ship out that next business day. So the next day, whenever you're available, either to get your post office lady or post office man to come by and pick it up, or whether you're dropping it off, make sure it's ready that next day, because we never want to wait to the deadline, and we want to add, try to get their package there as quickly as possible. Okay, so that late shipment rate, remember, will only be important to the merchant fulfilled sellers or the seller fulfill orders. Okay, because remember, whenever you're doing fulfillment by Amazon or FBA, Amazon is going to handle that fulfillment process of the order, so it's really no late shipments or anything of that sort. Now, down up on under it is also another merchant fulfill metric, right? And that's the pre-fulfillment cancellation rate, and that one needs to be under 2.5%. So again, when would you ever have to cancel an order? So I know for me, before they had all of these metrics, um, back in 2010, and I can't remember if they had these exact, I don't think they had these exact metrics. It was something different, something a lot less strict. But anyway, when would you cancel an order before you shipped it out? So let's say, for example, if you're doing merchant fulfill, and you guys know I love media, so maybe I have a DVD, a game, or maybe a textbook or something of that sort. Let's just say they ordered a textbook, it's $300, and I go in my shelf, go to my shelf, and I cannot find the book for anything, right? I can't find the book. That's a scenario on where someone may cancel the order, right? So what Amazon is saying, and the reason why they do this is because they, again, want customers to have a great experience. We all know Amazon's platform is customer centric, right? And that's how Jeff Bezos prides itself on. We always keep the customer first, and that's how he built this great company. So of course, if we're partnering or selling our products through Amazon's platform, he would want us to do the same thing. So that's why the metrics are tight. Again, you can't mess up 2.5 orders out of 100. A half is not realistic, but we'll just say 2 orders out of 100. We don't need to cancel it. And that's basically put into place to make sure that whatever products that we're listing on the platform, we actually have in stock. And we don't want to disappoint the customers. That's the worst thing Amazon wants to happen, because they feel, or Jeff Bezos and the team or whoever, I know he stepped down, but they feel like if they start to lose this customer base, then Amazon will start going downhill. So they want to always give people great experiences. So if we're third party business owners and we have our stuff up there, then they want to make sure that we are in line with their mission. Okay, so that's the gist of the account health, and this is very, very important, whether you're doing FBA or seller fulfilled, but it's super essential that you need to be checking. People say check it every week, but I mean, I check it every time I log into Seller Central. You just need to go see what's going on inside of your business. This is basically like your health, right? Your account health. Basically, that's what it said. It's like your bloodline, your oxygen. You need to see what's going on. What can you tighten up? What you need to improve on? Because we don't want any smoke from Amazon, right? We just want to cash flow it and keep it going, right? So this is important. Every time you log in, look here, see what you got going on. Is it any red flags, anything we need to clean up? Now, outside of that tonight, I just wanted to add, this is very important. Whether you've been selling on Amazon for a long time, or you're just thinking about getting in the game, or maybe you only had a couple of sales, this is something I wanted to leave with you guys. And I can't remember, a couple of days ago, I had a young lady leave me a comment on one of my older videos. I can't remember your name. I apologize, but shout out to you. She gave me some great compliments. I think she sold her first um item under the individual account. She was saying a lot of people was telling her the individual account wasn't worth it, but it's going well for her. So yes, I wish you much success. So if you do happen to see this video, salute to you, and let me know if I can do anything to help you. Okay. All right. Now, so the thing I wanted to tell you guys, whether you're watching it live or watching it on the replay, is set goals, right? So after you do your market research, right, and you decide on, what category you want to sell in, and you niche kind of down on where you want to go, we need to set goals, right? Because if we don't have a destination, it's hard to get somewhere, right? So, if you cruising, right, you cruising in a big ship, we have to have that GPS set on a destination, else we'll never get to where we're trying to go. Whether we're trying to go to Cancun or the Bahamas, we have to have a destination. So I thought it was important. It's not the sexiest, but it is essential in growing your business. So whatever number you're trying to make, whether you want to keep your 9 to 5, you want to make an extra $5,000 a month, you want to make an extra $10,000 a month, you want to start making $100,000 a month, whatever the number is, it's absolutely okay. But we need to reverse engineer what is the number that you need to be, or the amount of sales that you need to have per day to hit this number. Because if we're not hitting that number, it's impossible to hit the long-term goals. Okay. So we have to start small. So the saying goes, and I'm terrible with sayings, that if you want to eat an elephant, it starts with one bite at a time, right? One bite at a time, even if it's this big goal. So what's the first step? So I like to use SMART goals. I'm not sure if you guys ever heard of this, but it's an acronym, and SMART stands for, the S stands for specific, right? So we have to be specific in your goal setting. Make sure it's just not general. Tell exactly what you want to do, right? It needs to be super specific. Um, Write it down. I like to write it down. I know I'm old school, probably telling my age. Some of you guys may be watching, maybe younger. You guys may just put it in your phone or put it in your notes on your calendar, but you need to state exactly what you will do, or what the outcome needs to be. That is going to be the S part of our SMART goals, right? That's going to be, because SMART is just an acronym. So we're going to break down each one. I got my notes here. All right. And use action words too. So action words on what you're going to do whenever you're setting that specific part of your goal. All right. So the M stands for make sure it's measurable, right? We need some kind of grading system, right? Because we need to see whether we're on track to hit this goal, or whether we slacking off and we need to make adjustments. Because if it's not measurable, we just gonna be all over the place, and that's something we don't want to do. And you can measure it, you can measure it each week, you can measure it each month, you can measure it each quarter. And I wouldn't go too far outside a quarter, because if you start doing it half of the year and you get to 6 months in and you figure out you're doing something wrong, like, man, you already so far behind. So I would do, just in my opinion, you guys can switch it up and what, according to your lifestyle and according to your business, but I would go no further than 30 days out, because that's going to give you, and me personally, I do a week, right? So every week, I was telling one of the guys in the community today, we were on the call. So what I will do is have a marker, a dry erase marker, and on my mirror I will have all the goals that I want to hit for 2023. And just seeing it every day, at least for me, that visual aspect of it, it keeps it on the forefront of my mind, so that if I ever drift away, when I'm waking up, it's the first thing I see. When I'm brushing my teeth, it's the first thing I'm looking at, it like, oh, that's the mission for the day. So regardless of the extra stuff that I need to do, that's the mission. I need to do this. I want to hit the $1 million mark this year. What does that mean? I need to send in 20 to 25 boxes per week. That's going to give you an actual target you need to hit, right? So again, make sure it's measurable. And my phone locked up. Y'all know I'm a talker. I talk a little long on these streams. All right, the A stands for make sure it's achievable, right? Within your scope. So with the amount of money I sold on Amazon last year, I'm not gonna say set a goal on where, hey, I'm gonna do 500 million on Amazon next year. Like, that's not within my scope. Why is that? It's not that I'm pessimistic, it's because I don't have the systems in place to do 500 million. I don't have the capital yet. Again, I say yet, y'all, because it's coming. I don't have the capital to buy enough inventory to make 500 million. And I don't even know what products to sell that would have a high enough margin to do that number in sales. Like, that's outside of my scope. So we need to be realistic, right? We need to make sure it's within our scope, something that we can attain, right? You don't want to set something big that, it's more of a wish instead of a goal, right? A wish, that means, like, hey, it'd be nice if it did happen, but a goal is something with actionable steps. You can be like, okay, boom, I'm going to sell this amount per day, I'm going to buy this amount of inventory per day, I'm going to work this amount of hours per day towards this goal. Like, it's something that's within that scope, something that you can measure, something that's real. I guess that's the better word. Okay. So that is the A part of it. Okay. The R stands for, it has to be relevant, right? It has to make sense. It has to improve your business in some kind of way. So when we set a goal, it must be something that will improve your business. Because some people, it's just a goal that's really not, I guess, productive, or doesn't improve or benefit the business. It needs to elevate you, to take you to that next level, right? So push yourself. Anybody can set a small goal, that doesn't really mean anything, but you need to push the envelope. So not being outside of that scope of what you're able to obtain, but then not being so low either, right? We don't want to be on either end of the spectrum. We need to make sure we're pushing ourselves. We need to make sure it's within a range, something achievable, something that we really got to work towards and put some work into. Okay. All right. So the next part is T, right? And the T stands for, we need to make sure it's time bound, right? We need to put a date on it. And that's with everything that I do. Whenever you're doing a goal, you need to set a date. Hey, I'm going to do this by, you know, the end of December 2023. I'm gonna do this by the end of the quarter. I'm gonna in the quarter, guys, this is 3 months, right? I'm gonna do this in 6 months. You have to put a end date on it, right? And a lot of people are, afraid of judging themselves. What if I fail? What if I? But if you see it, at least for me and a lot of people that I work with, it puts that pressure on you, right? You start feeling that weight on your shoulder, and it it pushes me, right? I love the pressure, right? That extra added stress, it's gonna push me because I know I'm getting closer to the deadline. So anything that I didn't do, it allows me to see, well, hey, if we're gonna hit the $1 million mark in sales this year, and I only sold, 500,000, and I only have 3 months left, I gotta go and turn it up to get that last 500,000 in this um Q4 or these last 3 months. So it allows you to gauge whether you need to turn up or turn it. You don't ever really probably want to turn it down. You want to run through the ribbon, but it just keeps that clock ticking, so you know what you need to do, right? So again, that's smart goals, right? Make sure you setting smart goals, right? Because I think a lot of us, if you a new entrepreneur, we just out there chasing the bag with really no structure, right? But structure has been the thing, and that's, again, I tell you guys this all the time. It's one of my weakest points as a entrepreneur and a business person. So through the grace of God, that's something that my wife is actually skilled in. So if you know you have a weakness, you need to partner or pair with somebody, which it may be their strength, right? You don't have to do it all by yourself. Or if you just grind and doing it by yourself, recognize that that is a weakness, get help. Do what you need to do to make sure, whether it's through an app, whether it's through software, organization is going to be the key to scaling, right? Because whatever number that you're trying to hit, somebody out there has already sold that before, and it's a blueprint, it's a system, right? So stay organized, reverse engineered. Most people that I talk to, whether on the phone, or whether I'm talking to them through the DM, is usually a goal of between $5,000 to $10,000 a month that they want to make off Amazon, which is absolutely possible. Yeah, that's absolutely possible. You can do it at, just off of hustling. But the thing about it, you need to be consistent in every area. If you're going to be sourcing, like, people will reach out, hey Travis, I appreciate the information. I had a $600 day, I had a $700 day, right? And that's cool. I'm super, super happy for you. But how are we going to piece those $600 and $700 days together, right? I want you to continuously make that. How will we do that? By putting out that same action, right? What did you do to get to the 700, right? Are we tracking down how much we spending on inventory? Are we tracking where we sourcing the inventory from? It's all on organization, right? So again, we over the 20-minute mark. I'm not gonna stay too long. I had to come to the people. If you guys have any questions or concerns, drop it down in the chat, whether you're watching the live stream or not the chat, but the comments, whether you're watching the live stream or the replay. I salute to y'all. And if you hadn't already, man, make sure y'all slide the Instagram. Follow your boy at Travis_GWV. And anything y'all need, my link tree description is down below. If you want to connect, that's fine. If not, man, I'll see y'all on the next one. Love y'all. Be blessed. We out.